Today will be brief. I'm thinking about toughness and how I think America, maybe humanity, certainly my own life, how we've all suffered because of a lack or shortage of toughness. And I think that there's this weird thing, which is that for some reason, and I don't know if it's my family, the culture, society, my own biological desire for comfort, whatever it is, some way I grew up thinking that I was and am less tough than thinking that I was less tough than I really am. Thinking that I was less resilient than I really am. Thinking that I was capable of less than I really am. And I think this mentality is pervasive in our culture and in society. And honestly, when I look around America and I look around, especially I love politics, I read a lot about politics and culture, and you see a lot of left griping about the right griping about the left. What I feel like it comes down to fundamentally is there's a lack of mental and emotional toughness. First, a fundamental, deep-seated belief in what you conviction in your beliefs. Second, this idea, and I think that results in the fact that people cannot exchange ideas without feeling so triggered or offended that they need to walk away or call each other names and resort to some sort of emotional violence or physical violence. And I think that if you dig down to underneath what is the root of all these things, I think, again, it comes down to a lack of this resilience. There's a lot more to explore here that I haven't thought through, so I don't want to talk about. But one thing that I've been thinking about is that I was born in California. I was born in California, and a lot of people love California. I think there's a lot of great things about the state. But one interesting thing about California's history is how hard it was to make, and how hard it was, frankly, for all of America to be made. I'm totally glossing over Native Americans and what we did to them. It was atrocious. But if you're just looking at America from a pioneer perspective, and this, I was thinking about the Donner Party because I'm out here in the snow. Hi. I'm doing fine. I'm just swimming. Okay. Yeah, a little bit. Concerned neighbor. So one thing about the Donner Party was that they crossed the Sierra Nevada mountains into California in the winter. They got stuck, they got snowed in, and they ended up having to eat their family members to survive. I mean, that's atrocious, and that's like a level of survival that I don't think needs to happen. Obviously does not need to happen anymore. But I do think somewhere along the way where, I think we've kind of become the victim of our own material success. I mean, even if you look at World War II and all the people that were shipped to war, and all these young people my age and a lot younger, who died in the war, and the sacrifices that people collectively had to make, rationing gas. I mean, all these things that are unfathomable to us now. And fundamentally, I think this our inability to communicate with each other on an authentic level and to say, hey, I understand that your disagreement with my opinion is not a personal attack on me, and I hope that I can communicate my disagreement to you in the same way that you don't feel personally indicted. Something is lost in all of that. And I think that's fundamentally a giant issue that we need to address. I don't know who to blame, right, for this. And I look at my own life and I say, yeah, there's so many times that I wish somebody had said, stop being so pitiful. Stop pitying yourself so much. My life is full of opportunity, full of light, and I've wasted so many chances to be grateful and to seize that. And I think, again, it comes down to some sort of conditioned weakness. I'll close by saying, I know I haven't talked much about why I love cold water so much. One of the reasons I do love cold water. Sorry, here I am just making things worse. One of the reasons I do love cold water is that it forces me to be tough. At some point, it's existential. So if I mess up, I'm here alone. Besides this concerned neighbor, I guess, I'm really here alone. If I mess up, I stay too long, I slip, I go into the ice, a number of things could happen, and I'm gone. And that to me, this to me has become a meditative practice in knowing my limits, in knowing myself, and appreciating my toughness and resilience. It's about a conversation, an existential conversation between myself and nature. And it's about also putting things in perspective where, you know, on a recent video, somebody said that I'm super lost. And in the past, people have said I'm crazy or I've lost my way and all these things. And they've really affected me because we're social creatures. And yeah, people's opinions matter to me. But the water puts things in perspective where I say, look, right here, where I'm in the water, does it fundamentally matter what some stranger or even someone I know thinks about me or my opinion? Or does it matter that I am conscientious, aware myself, that I'm present here with the water, that I know that nature is vastly more powerful than I am, and that at some point this negotiation is going to have to reach a harmony, basically. That's one reason I love cold water. This is a very loose, fly off the cuff reflection on toughness and resilience. Thank you for watching. I hope that these reflections bring you some value, and if you don't, please stop watching the series. Save your time. Time is valuable. Love hard and live well. Let me just give you a quick look at where we're at. The sun's behind me, so you're not going to get to see this super